Okay. No.
Oh, we did that, right? Sorry, next one. So this I was going with this the Chazal that say that Yaakov didn't kiss Yosef, and he was reading Shema. I shouldn't say obviously, because maybe we'll see differently in the Gemara, but that's the right. Rashi brings down the Chumash, right?
When is this? Where are we talking about?
When Yosef Yaakov's come down to Mitzrayim and meets Yosef for the first time after 22 years. It says that says by Yosef that he kissed Yaakov. By Yaakov it says by Yefkav Sabarav Od, it says he cried on his neck, but he didn't actually kiss him.
Okay.
No recollection of that?
Yeah, I remember. Okay.
Okay. So the Gemara asks, Amai lo nashakle. So again, like Rashi says, Rashi Chazal says that he was reading Shema. But that's not what the Bavas Rabbi Nassim says. I mean, the Meseches Kalla says. Meseches Kalla says, Savar Dima Aidi the Gola at Ine Noshe Agav Shufrei. Says the Rabbi Chaim came to go time Shema Nasa Nashim Machmas Yofion. Maybe married women which were because of their beauty. Now, this contradicts this past week's parsha because 2 weeks because it says that when Avram went down to Mitzrayim, he said Imina Achosiat, right? And Rashi says because she was beautiful as opposed to the people in Egypt who were not so beautiful, the women in Egypt. But here the Yaakov is saying the opposite. Perhaps he saw beautiful women in Egypt. They married them without, like Rabbi Chaim says, without ksuba and kedushin. So I'm not sure it's reason not to kiss him, but that's what he says here. But it could be that he says machmas yofion, but that doesn't sound like what the Kalla Rabbasi is saying. Meseches Kalla says, because he was handsome. Maybe lots of women threw himself at him because he was handsome, not that he threw himself at the women. It says, he'd say he found Yosef's neck, but he didn't actually kiss him. You boy the minchike, below shavke. I guess Yosef wanted to kiss him, and Yaakov
didn't let him.
What? Yaakov didn't let him.
Yaakov did not let him.
That's what it sounds like. Yeah. And then I guess that's why when Yaakov died, Yosef kissed him. See, Amar, he said, 39 years have passed, because 22, he was away from his father, and 17, his father lived in Goshen. And I haven't kissed my father's mouth. But Ashta Kavernole, and now I'm going to bury him. I'm not going to kiss him before him. So evidently, he did not actually. Yaakov didn't kiss Yosef, and Yosef was not allowed to kiss Yaakov. Okay, this is a much more interesting story than the one about Yosef Yaakov reading Shema. That says Mi Ela. In other words, he was still not sure 17 years later. Did not know Menashe Ephraim, or I'm sure there was grandchildren. He's probably saw him frequently. The Shaila Imisialidu B'Ksuba. He asked them, this Rashi also brings down. He wanted to know if they're born with a proper ksuba, with proper kiddushin. They came with the chazik ksuba, and once he saw that the ksuba, Yosef brought the ksuba. As for that, Tevin Ashkinu B'dil Yosef. He kissed them on account of Yosef. Very strange stuff. Let's see the Rabbi Chaim. I don't know if he adds anything here, but it doesn't say kissed him. Then he kissed him. Altogether. Okay. Now says the Meseches Kalla. Shmamina Yosef nischamem no negda. Must be that Yosef was aroused by the wife of Potiphar. It says, I don't know how we know that so far, but the Chaim says, Potiphar nischamem negda. He was aroused by her, and I guess evidently, I'm just guessing, because Yaakov. Why would Yaakov have any suspicion that Yosef had any relationship with a non-Jewish woman? So we have to say that Yaakov sensed that he did get aroused by the wife of Potiphar, and therefore he was suspicious until it was proven to him otherwise. That's the only thing I can think of. So, kind of out of left field here, we have the story about Shimon and Elazar in Baba Kama.
Wait. Something we
Let's hear. Go ahead.
The Esau Kedag Lo Nitchanim Kenegda. Do you have that text? Yeah.
These are Lo Nitchanim. Yeah, I don't understand how it follows. These are the Lo Nitchanim Kenegda. If you're going to say it wasn't Nischami Kenegda, but didn't we learn? I'm not sure how this follows, but as I'm saying, I'm not sure how it follows. This story, we have to see the Rabbi Chaim, is a story in Messeches Bamidbar in the 7th perek. Yeah, but let's see the Rabbi Chaim first. Hi, was the Rabbi Lezer Shimon Haba. Shamar Hai Man de Noyim Bechanusa. Somebody who sleeps in a bar. In the first 4 hours of the day. He must be a guy.
I lost you.
Rabbi Chaim, Vatanya.
Yeah.
Hi, Uvda. This story is Rabbi Lezer, Rabbi Shimon. Concerns Rabbi Lezer and Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Hava. Omar, he said, brings up he said, Hi, man, the name of Chanusa, Bar Shoy B'yom. Somebody who's falling asleep in a bar 4 hours into the day. Shemamin Aganavu. He must be a Ganav. She's about Lila. And because he got up, must have been up all night, burgling houses. By day clock, Tavas got up in the Malchus. He was the official detective for the Malchus. And I used to go and catch the Ganovim, right, and give them over to the Malchus. One day he met a certain launderer. The launderer said to Rabbi Shimon Elazar, after Elazar Shimon, he called him Chemetz Yain, vinegar, the son of wine. Your father Shimon Bar Yochai was wine. Your vinegar. Amar so Elazar Shimon said me the Chotziv Kuli Hayit since so Chotziv Shman Rashihu. He must be a Russian. Amar Lu Tafsu. So he said to the Malchus, sees him. After Rabbi Elazar Shimon calmed down, also Pruke went to redeem this guy because he realized that maybe his temper got involved in it. He wasn't able to redeem him, and they hanged this launderer. So he stood underneath the hanging, the place where he was hanging, and he cried because he caused the death of this person. They said to him, Rebbe, only Rabbi Necha. Don't feel so bad. He and his son both had relations with a betrothed girl on Yom Kippur. In other words, they're both Rishonim. So he said, if the cases which are doubtful, I was vindicated. And this is what he said, Sisu b'nei sisu, rejoice, my intestines rejoice. So the masveko shalachem kach, if you're doubtful cases like that, by Hashem a super good David Russia, he was not sure if the laundry was Russia or not. But lo by they make sure did not. It was not. He didn't stumble because it turned out that he was a big Russia. The ones where you're sure, by the name of Chanusa, and those who fall asleep in the bar, where it was clear that they were Ganovim. How much more so is he justified and vindicated in bringing them to justice? Okay. So there, and then he goes on. He says, I'm sure Rabbi Shimon was very fat, but he said, I'm sure that no maggots or worms will attack my flesh after I die. The crowd, somebody called about himself. He's not my flesh will also dwell in security. So he's not enumerated among the 7. This is what Rabbi Chaim says. Even though Rabbi Shimon was sure about himself that no worms would attack his body after he died, he's not enumerated among those 7 people who had that special mila. V'koshkein, Yaakov, the Miksha Badayu, and certainly Yaakov was considered with them. Okay, now I understand where we're going with this. So Yaakov was considered them. In other words, Eliezer Shimon, he's not counted among the 7, and yet his even his fakers were considered to be accurate, right? Even where he was not sure if the guy was a Russia or not, he was found to be a Russia. So if Yaakov was Choshed Yosef, that Yosef had married a non-Jewish lady, there must have been some truth to it. Because anybody who's lo sholei borima v'tolea, anybody who the worms and maggots don't get, must be because they have some special qualities. Among them is being able to tell the truth about someone, even when they don't know exactly how they're doing it. So that's because Yaakov must have been able to see something about Yosef. What was he able to see? What Yosef never sinned, right? He never took a non-Jewish wife. So therefore, the Gemara is saying it must be nischamem kenegda. It must be he got aroused, and that's what Yaakov sensed. Okay, that's where it went.
Okay.
So and that's, let's see here, the bottom. He couldn't have suspected for naught. The Eliezer Shimon so Eliezer Shimon was never suspicious for naught. He was secure, confident that no worm would be able to overcome him. Hilkach Yaakov shezachal zebi yoser. Yaakov was even higher. Couldn't be that he suspected Yosef for naught. Let's say there. By the way, Rabbi Shimon, perhaps the reason why it's not enumerated later on is because it says there in the Gemara at one point he was hidden in the attic for 22 years. At one point, his wife went to check on him, and she saw a worm coming out of his ear. And she was upset because, he said he's not going to have any worms. And it was working in his ear. So Elizabeth Shimon appeared to her and said, don't worry, it was only this one worm, because I once heard the Talmud Chacham being mocked, and I didn't protest. So therefore, this is my punishment, that I had one worm coming out of my ear. So I guess that's not why he's not counted. So Hilchach Tzafa of Yaakov Baruch HaKodesh V'niman Shukal. There Yaakov saw Baruch HaKodesh. And something happened, and he refused to kiss him. Where is this hinted at? Dichsi Vateshe Beitan Kashto. So it says here, says the Rabbi Chaim, B'biras Yaakov Dichsi Kashto Zu Shichva Zera Al Shem Shiora Kechetz. So it's the way to understand pasuk, I think, is that you're supposed he held back his keshes, his bow, when it was hard and strong. So it's even though he was aroused, he didn't have relations with her. Okay. How do we know that that's alluded to here? Ksiv Hosam, Eira Ta'ir Kashtacha. So Aidei Erion Ne'ar Kashtacha, by erva, by arousal, but by erva, it arouses your bow. So the bow is the euphemism here for the organ, and saying that he did get aroused, but Chas Hashem, he didn't sin. Okay, Migaram Lo Shini Nitzolo. So what saved him? Shvus Matos Omer Sela. Says the Rabbi Chaim, who saved the Mikra B'Chabakuk and Farish Law. Now we're going to explain it. So he says, my Omer Sela. What is Omer Sela? Elohei Yaakov Sela. So I don't know. Let's see what this means. Long Rabbi Chaim here. Partially, even though it doesn't say Yaakov here, it's if it says okay Yaakov Sela, right? It says okay Omer Sela. This is what the pasuk saying. The B'schus Hashua Shishba Kodesh Baruch Hu Yaakov. Hashem made an oath to Yaakov. Shenishba Kodesh Baruch Hu Yaakov Shelo Yimatzei Psul B'Zaro. Because we'll take an oath that there won't be any psul in his children. Who should need so? That's why Yosef was saying, "Matos hainu shvatim." It said, "Shvuos matos." There was a shvua made about the shvatim. Kepirish b'shir shirim rabba per gimel omer sela shezeh shvua nishbar lokei Yaakov sela. This shvua. As Sela is Lashon Shvua evidently here, but saying by the God of Yaakov. Where do you make the Shvua? Reishon Kov Ches. Kilo Ezevcha, I will not leave you. I'm not going to leave you until I fulfill my promises to you. If I return whole to my father's house, God will be my Lord. My name will be, his name will be upon me from beginning to end. That none of my children will be possible. And then when Hashem says, that he's saying, yeah, I said I would fulfill this promise. But the question where he said this, where Yosef, Yaakov, where Hashem said this, so evidently he said to Avraham Avinu. We talk Mayan Ganim. Evidently, Rabbi Chaim Kanievsky Perish from the Sefer Mayan Ganim. Borgmar say to the Lamvam Beis. This Pesach be Dole Mar Begomer. Both show also Duke no Shalaviv. This is the more famous reason. The reason which Rashi is not is not that there was a shvua that Yosef, that Yaakov's kids would be all fine. It's because he saw the visage of Yaakov Avinu in the window or in the dream, Chalom, and that made him stop and not go through with the sin. So that's what it says here. The Dmus Yukno, Blessed Yukno Shavim Yosolo B'Chaloim, Miyav Atasha Beisan Kashto. Immediately he was able to restrain himself. So he said, not like I said before, not like that he held back his hardened organ, but rather that his organ went back to its original state. Okay, that's the way he learned it. They're scattered the arms of his hands. Not Yadav Bekarka. He stuck his hands in the ground. And the zera came from between his nails. So There are two pshatim in this. One pshat is that actually somehow the zera rose up on the bottom of the body, came out through his nails, which I think is a more unlikely pshat. And the other is that he restrained himself by holding himself literally. And therefore, when anything came out, it came out between his fingers, between his nails. He didn't actually have relations with wife Potiphar, but he was motzi zera. So now Gmora says, oh, Mason, sorry, but that's the goes by Chabik Lo Benashko. I could say he didn't kiss that Yaakov didn't allow Yosef to kiss him. It says he embraced him and he kissed him. Right? I think that's a question. No, that's not it. No. Sorry. No, wrong. Rabbi Chaim says, love on the Yaakov. So our question is, how come Yaakov let Lavan kiss him? And not Yosef. Okay? Those right come Lavan, Sheminashka Avodah Zarah, Menashik Zonos. Sibe Hachi. Lavan who kissed Avodah Zarah and kissed the prostitutes. It says this. Yosef Lavan Ashik. Yosef would not kiss. Dilma Loitzu Kol Michtaveh. Maybe the pasuk didn't have to write it. In other words, I don't know. Let's see Rabbi Chaim. That's because I have the initial Yakusi Behachi Sheniach Lo Nashko. Dilma Loitzu Kol Michtaveh. Come the whole Olam Kol Ikor Haim Milsa Shechov Kol Nashko. Lama Yichla Batera. Why does this have to be written in the Torah that he embraced him and kissed him? Across Yaakov Mahad L'Sapa Shivchos Yaakov. Plus, it's great to tell the praise of Yaakov. I mean, how so? Somehow, this pasuk by Lavan is telling the praise of Yaakov. How so? It says so. He wanted to kiss him. He didn't let him kiss him. I'm not sure we see in the pasuk. How so? So he says, Chebke, Lochim Shirke, Hada Nashke, V'nakif Le'liste.
What does that mean? I lost.
He hit him in the jaw. Hada Nashke says, Chaim Chazal Shuman Nashko Ba'akorcho. Lolan ran to kiss him. And Yaakov refused. And then Lavan tried again. And then Yaakov hit him in the jaw. And didn't let him. How so? How do we see this? Like I will see by Yunashek, below see Vayeshek lo. Let's see what it means here. Whereas by 11 it says Vayinashek lo, not Vayishak lo. Ela Vayinashek b'chol haguf. Vayinashek z'nshikas haguf. Shenoshku zeh b'zeh b'guf v'guf lago. Al ein zeh neshika machmas ava. Chelav neshikas haguf v'yisav v'lo neshikas ava b'peh. Vayishak zu neshikas ha'peh. So interesting chiddush here. Because that Vayinashek is a body embrace. It's not the same thing as a kiss. It was a yom to have kiss would say Vayishak v'yishak lo. Vayinakesh lo is more of an intense embrace. As he said, because by the Menashe Ephraim says, body embrace. No, I don't know if that's the case. You see, for sign we shock the kid lips who he kissed, of those who give good answers. I don't know what that means. Okay, let's go back to Rabbi Chaim. Yishak was so Simon kisses with the lips. A kiss joins together with other types of love. like a person who marks something. When it's and adds on to a long reckoning. So what's he saying? Vayishak is somehow language of erosion. I don't know how it becomes language of erosion. It's like a mark you make at the end of cheshbon to say that the cheshbon is complete. So somehow the kiss seals the deal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a roshim at the end of a cheshbon. Okay, I don't know exactly how.
Okay.
Okay, wherever it is. Okay. Tashma, Bayar's Esabli Kosoba, Chabke Begom Rechkeu. So Esau kissed Yaakov. How come? Brags Damiel Lavan. Says Rabbi Chaim Kanievsky, Damiel Lavan, Mishrosa. Mishusava, Siva Eshkeu Befet, Echnichu Yaakov, Lenashko. How Yaakov let Esau kiss him. Amalei Zil Chazei, Kama Shine Charuse, Kama Shine Charuse Olave. Interesting language. Go see how many teeth were broken on him. In other words, this is going to the Shita. Oops. I guess it is. This is going to the Shita that Yosef. Moving stuff. That Yosef, that when you love, when Esav kissed Yaakov, he broke his teeth. Right? There's a machlekes. Did he kiss him b'chol libo or not kiss him b'chol libo? The opinion holds he didn't kiss. Rabbi Shimon holds he kissed him sincerely. The other opinion, I think it's Rabbi Yossi, says he didn't kiss him sincerely. He wanted to bite him, and he broke his teeth. So he didn't get to kiss him. He was just biting him. Why is his teeth break? Because he wanted to bite Yaakov. His teeth became like wax. His cheeks hit Yaakov's neck. And he Esau got weakened. You broke the teeth of Yerushalayim, right? He just says Karon Shavo. So he's saying that Yaakov would not have let Esau kiss him. Yaakov evidently knew that Esau was coming to hurt him, and he let him kiss him because bite his neck, so his teeth would break. Okay, this is fascinating and strange. Meseches Kalla.
Interesting. Okay.
All right. Shkoyach. Take care.
All right. Okay. We'll be in touch about next week.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.